Are you planning to move to Canada and is still checking on cities and cost of living? Well, this video might be for you. On this video, we will give you the tale of 6 Canadian cities in 6 Canadian provinces. We will do a cost of living comparison between 6 Canadian famous cities of Vancouver, British Columbia, Toronto, Ontario, Calgary, Alberta, Montreal, Quebec, Regina, Saskatchewan, and Winnipeg, Manitoba. The data that you will find in this video was recorded for reference of all contributor in Numbeo website as of July 11, 2020. There are many factors that you may still want to consider prior moving, but we hope that this video will help you make an informed decision in the future. If you still haven't subscribed to this channel, this may be a perfect time to do so, as we upload informational videos like this that could be useful on your Canadian journey. A gentle reminder that this is a reference guide and your personal additional research is necessary to validate your version of facts. Let's start. Our first factor is the house rent. On this category, we have subdivided it into 4 subcategories: 1 bedroom in city center and outside city center, and 3 bedroom in city center and outside city center. 1 bedroom apartment in city center will cost around 2,058 Canadian dollars in Vancouver, 2,251 in Toronto, 1,222 in Calgary, 1,292 in Montreal, 1,011 in Winnipeg, 1,014 in Regina. For 1 bedroom outside of city center, Vancouver will have it as 1,614, Toronto 1,831, Calgary 989, Montreal 832, Winnipeg 989, and Regina 929. In quick summary, for both 1 bedroom apartments within city center and outside city center, Toronto is relatively higher compared to the other provinces and cities. But it's a different story in 3 bedroom apartment. For 3 bedroom in city center, you will pay around 3,777 in Vancouver, 3,562 in Toronto, 2,056 in Calgary, 2,215 in Montreal, 1,493 in Winnipeg, and 1,881 in Regina. For 3 bedroom outside city center, you will pay 2,875 in Vancouver, 2,707 in Toronto, 1,583 in Calgary, 1,430 in Montreal, 1,480 in Winnipeg, and 1,663 in Regina. For both 3 bedroom city center and outside city center, you will pay relatively higher in Vancouver, British Columbia. That is for the house rent. But if you were to buy a property and you will buy an apartment, then this will be the average prices per square meter in city center. For Vancouver, you will need to pay 12,791 per square meter, 11,142 in Toronto, 4,637 in Calgary, 5,731 in Montreal, 2,655 in Winnipeg, and 4,115 in Regina. For outside city center price per square meters, in Vancouver you will need to pay 9,329, 8,572 in Toronto, 2,985 in Calgary, 3,463 in Montreal, 2,736 in Winnipeg, and 2,676 in Regina. Buying an apartment on either city center and outside city center, Vancouver is relatively higher compared to all other cities. For transportation, we will try to assess it based on the monthly pass of a regular commuter. For Vancouver, you would need $98, $151 for Toronto, $109 in Calgary, $86 in Montreal, $100 in Winnipeg, and $88 in Regina. In summary of transportation, Toronto is relatively higher compared to any other cities. Our next factor will be utilities, which is the basic electricity, heating, cooling for an 85 square meters apartment. In Vancouver, you would need to pay $86 for this. Toronto, $151. In Calgary, $197. $100 in Montreal, $163 in Winnipeg, and $178 in Regina. In terms of these utilities, Calgary is relatively higher compared to the other 5 cities. Internet could be the other factor that you may want to consider. Vancouver will ask you $76 for this, $69 in Toronto, $77 in Calgary, $63 in Montreal, $74 in Winnipeg, and $70 in Regina. Our next consideration is the price of groceries. For the purpose of this video, we have listed 8 common grocery items that we Filipinos often buy. First would be 1 kilogram white rice. White rice in Vancouver costs $4.73, $3.49 in Toronto, $2.90 in Calgary, $2.98 in Montreal, $4.34 in Winnipeg, and $3.11 in Regina. 1 loaf of bread costs $3.45 in Vancouver, $2.90 in Toronto, $2.90 in Calgary, $3.47 in Montreal, $2.51 in Winnipeg, $2.72 in Regina. 12 pieces of regular egg will cost you $3.83 in Vancouver, $3.48 in Toronto, $3.43 in Calgary, $3.30 in Montreal, $2.97 in Winnipeg, and $3.16 in Regina. Chicken fillet will cost you $16.84 in Vancouver, $13.85 in Toronto, $12.90 in Calgary, $14.97 in Montreal, $13.68 in Winnipeg, and $10.86 in Regina. 1 kilogram of apple will cost you $4.04 in Vancouver, $3.77 in Toronto, $4.12 in Calgary, $3.88 in Montreal, $3.96 in Winnipeg, and $4.06 in Regina. $1.99 is the price of 1 kilogram banana in Vancouver, $1.69 in Toronto, $1.81 in Calgary, $1.90 in Montreal, $1.81 in Winnipeg, and $1.93 in Regina. 1 head of lettuce will cost you $2.73 in Vancouver, $2.34 in Toronto, $2.58 in Calgary, $2.39 in Montreal, $2.54 in Winnipeg, and 2.44 in Regina. 1.5 liters of water will cost you 2.61 in Vancouver, 2.05 in Toronto, 2.30 in Calgary, 2.07 in Montreal, 2.27 in Winnipeg, and 2.45 in Regina. In summary, based on these grocery items, Vancouver is really relatively higher compared to other 5 Canadian cities. The last factor that we may want to consider is the average monthly net salary. And when we say net salary, this is after all the tax deduction. In Vancouver, the average net salary is 4,175 Canadian dollars, 3,849 in Toronto, 4,278 in Calgary, 3,202 in Montreal, 2,998 in Winnipeg, and 3,103 in Regina. Based on these salaries, Calgary has the highest and Winnipeg has the lowest average monthly net salary. I hope this video helps you to make that decision in choosing which province you may want to go. There are some other factors that you may want to consider outside of this cost of living, but this all depends to you, your family, and community support if available. After all, each cities and provinces has their pros and cons. I hope you learned something new today on this short video. Our channel is constantly growing, and we would like to thank all of you for all your support, comments, and messages. We really appreciate it, and please continue to like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you again on our next videos. Again, please stay safe, be kind, and always be a blessing.